When my father passed away, I thought the hardest part would be saying goodbye. I never imagined the real shock would come weeks later, inside a lawyer's office, surrounded by family, when a complete stranger walked in and turned my entire world upside down. My name is Daniel. I'm 34, and I live in Chicago. My father was a successful businessman, tough, disciplined, but deeply respected. He raised me and my younger brother Luke to believe in hard work, family loyalty, and honesty. At least, that's what I thought. After his funeral, the lawyer contacted us to schedule the official reading of his will. It was supposed to be a formality, go over the assets, divide the estate, sign the papers, and move forward. But what happened that day still feels like something out of a movie. We gathered in the lawyer's office, me, my brother Luke, my stepmother Caroline, and a few extended relatives. The air was heavy, quiet, almost tense. We sat around a polished oak table, waiting for the lawyer to begin. He adjusted his glasses, opened a thick folder, and said, "Before I read the terms of the will, I need to inform you that a new party has entered this matter. Please come in." The door creaked open. A young woman stepped inside, maybe in her late 20s, dark hair pulled back, nervous eyes scanning the room. She clutched a folder to her chest. "Who is this?" Luke blurted out. The lawyer cleared his throat. "This is Anna. She claims to be Mr. Bennett's biological daughter." The room erupted. My stepmother gasped, my uncle cursed under his breath, and Luke shot up from his chair. "This is a joke, right?" he snapped. "My father had 2 sons. That's it." But the woman, Anna, didn't flinch. She opened her folder and pulled out documents, birth records, letters, photographs. With trembling hands, she placed them on the table. "I didn't want to come here," she said softly, "but your father asked me to. He left me a letter before he died." My chest tightened. My father? A daughter we never knew about? It didn't make sense. The lawyer handed me the letter. My hand shook as I unfolded it. It was in my father's handwriting. "Daniel, Luke, if you're reading this, then the truth is finally out. Many years ago, I made a mistake. I fell in love with someone else briefly, and from that, Anna was born. I couldn't be the father she deserved, but I tried to help from afar. She is family. Please, take care of her as your sister." I dropped the letter, my heart pounding. My father, the man I looked up to my whole life, had kept this secret for decades. Luke slammed his fist on the table. "This is ridiculous. She's just here for the money." His face was red, his voice shaking with anger. Anna's eyes filled with tears. "I don't care about the money," she whispered. "I just wanted to know my brothers. I wanted to hear about him. I wanted family." The lawyer continued, reading the will. To everyone's shock, my father had left a significant portion of his estate to Anna, enough to prove that this wasn't some last-minute scam. He had acknowledged her. The room split instantly. Some relatives whispered about betrayal. Caroline, my stepmother, looked humiliated. Luke stormed out, slamming the door behind him. But me? I just sat there, staring at Anna. I saw pain in her eyes, loneliness, and something else, hope. After the meeting, I walked outside. Anna stood by the sidewalk, hugging her coat, looking small against the city skyline. "You really didn't?" "No?" I asked quietly. She shook her head. "My mom told me who he was, but he never wanted to see me. He sent money sometimes, letters, but I never met him in person. When he got sick, he wrote to me and told me to come after he passed. He said he was sorry." Her voice cracked. Tears spilled down her cheeks. And in that moment, my anger softened. I thought about all the lessons my father taught me, about honesty, loyalty, family. Maybe he wasn't perfect. Maybe he had failed us in some ways. but he wanted me to do better. Anna, I said, if he wanted you here, then you're not just some stranger. You're my sister, and I think he'd want us to try. Her eyes widened. She covered her mouth, and for the first time, she smiled through the tears. It wasn't easy after that. Luke refused to accept her. Caroline couldn't even look at her without bitterness. Holidays were awkward, conversations tense. But little by little, I got to know Anna. She told me about her childhood, how her mom struggled, how she wondered, why her father wasn't around. She showed me drawings she used to make as a kid, always of a family with a missing piece. And she admitted that walking into that lawyer's office was the scariest thing she'd ever done. And you know what? She became part of my life. 1 year later, she stood in my living room on Thanksgiving, laughing with my kids, helping my wife in the kitchen. And I realized, family isn't about perfect stories or flawless pasts. It's about who shows up, who stays, who chooses to be there even when it's hard. I don't forgive my father for everything. I don't excuse the choices he made. But I do thank him for giving me a sister I never knew I needed. Because sometimes the biggest shocks, the moments that shake your world, end up being the ones that give you something you didn't know your heart was missing.